marketing consultant. Why do I think men struggle with connection? I think that's a twofold question. I'm going to start with one thing: perceived expectations. We think about, like, I know, like you said, right? The era that I come from, men had to be a specific thing. This was the model of a man. You weren't allowed to cry. You weren't allowed to whine about yourself. You had to take care of business. You had to do all of these different things, even if you weren't capable of doing them. You had to find a way to do that. I also think that in that same regard, when you think about perceived expectation, I meet you, right? I think that you have the same definition of what a man is because you were raised in the same era. So I'm going to perceive that that's what you believe of to be of me, right? I'm a man. So I'm going to have to fill those shoes still, right? But the second part of it is fear, right? You've just touched on that, Mr. Chaplain. Fear of betrayal, fear of loss, fear of hurt, fear of pain, right? And then fear of cancel culture. You think about today's society, it pushes so many different things, right? And we can even go to the church. There are some churches that will push it to be a specific kind of way that may or may not be theologically correct, right? We see so many different people acting so many different ways. And it's honestly, like, I think about myself, man, and I've got a very checkered history. So in a church context, I've got a checkered history. I'm super transparent with my congregation. Most of them love it. Some of them give these looks like they can't trust me, maybe, right? And I think I personally don't really care, because I know who I am. I know what I stand on. I know what I'm founded on. I know the truth, right? And it's not my truth. My truth, his name is Jesus, right? But people don't understand things to be the same way, right? We look at the Proverbs: trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not into your own understanding, right? I don't really care what the world understands to be true about what a man is. I don't care what the world understands to be true about what masculinity is. I know who I am. I know who God made me to be, right? And I think that's the heart of those two folds that I brought up is knowing your identity in Christ and having it not founded anywhere else. We tend to, like, I'll use my father as an example. We lost my mother about 8 years ago. For 40 years, he was with her. His identity was founded as her husband and our father, right? And now here he has grown-up kids and no wife. Who is he? And I see him today not being so sure of himself, not being so confident, because he doesn't have that connection with the church. He doesn't have that connection with God anymore, but I think that to be true with a lot of other men out there. We find our identities in something rather than in the person of Jesus. We find our identity in a job, right? And if we don't have that, there are a lot of people that are in the unemployment line, a lot of people like myself who are ex-convicts who can't get jobs, right? I used to have my identity founded in a job. My connection was perfect that way. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm a labor manager. I do all these great things. I make 6 figures. That's my identity. I can connect now. Once I lost that, I had zero opportunity to connect with anybody, until I started walking again with God. And it was like, okay, now I could connect with everybody because there's one universal truth, right? His name's Jesus, and I know him now. But prior to that, my identity was found in anything that the world thought was good, anything that would make me popular, I guess, right? Anything that was opposite of cancel culture, that was accepted by society. So yeah, I think I know that's a whole lot of a lot of stuff to say, just to say that, it's the expectation, it's the fear, and then it's just the landing on who are you, like knowing who you are. And I don't think a lot of us, I mean, I'm going to speak for myself, and I know a lot of people, I don't know about everybody in this room, but it takes a while for us to know who we are, and until we do know who we are, how can we truly connect with anybody?